What's up, fight fans? And I'm back at it with another one. Just about to get in a little game, but just quick reminder on this Naoya Inoue and Stephen Kubo Fulton. Um, this fight will be taking place in Japan. I just recently just went back and watched. Excuse me. I just recently went back and watched the MJ fight versus Tapales. Am I saying that correct? Um, and what I thought was that usually when a champion loses his title, usually there's a rematch involved in there. And I know that I would have said that MJ had unfinished business. I must have missed the part in the beginning of the fight where the announcer announced that the winner of that fight would fight Naoya Inoue versus Stephen Kubo Fulton. So it looks like Tapales will be fighting the winner of that. Now I didn't write MJ off. You know what I'm saying? I knew that MJ lost his belt, but I thought that they were gonna run it back and MJ was probably gonna win that fight. Because it kind of looked like MJ had an off night. But on further look, further watching the fight again, I watched it again. Tapales did a lot of good things in that fight. He did a lot of things that were right. He kept him honest and he kept hitting him with that always hand right. I thought MJ had him stunned in the seventh round, but Tapales came back in that seventh round and hit him with a big shot. Down the stretch, I felt like Tapales kind of ran out of gas a little. He was still fighting smart because he is an intelligent fighter. Um, but I feel like, his momentum shifted down and MJ seemed to get stronger during the later rounds and he kind of was figuring Tapales out. So I was under the impression that, MJ's going to want to run that back. But, it's already, this story is, this, damn it, got a call in the middle of it. This story is seems to already have a narrative behind it. They're already gonna push the agenda that whoever wins out of Naoya Inoue and Stephen Kubo Fulton, that there will be a unification of all four belts. Seeing that, the truth be told, Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford have a real big fight coming up. Not only do they have a big fight coming up, it is also a big moment in boxing history. Stay with me. Terrence Crawford has the opportunity to be the first and only man to capture all four belts in two separate weight divisions. Yes, that is correct. If you didn't know this, Terrence Crawford did unify all four belts in a lower weight division, and he's moving to challenge Errol Spence Jr. for his three belts, in which in fact he owns the WBO right now. If he is successful, he will go down in history as the first man to ever unify all four belts in two separate weight divisions. There are several men right now in this boxing golden era that stand to do such an accomplishment. Terrence Crawford, Alexander Usyk, Naoya Inoue, and the Charlo twins. Those are the boxers right now that I believe will have the opportunity at some point in their career. Okay, I believe that those are the guys that are leading the way. The Charlo twin, he has a little bit of work in front of him, but Usyk can be very successful if he just fights Tyson Fury, and then his opportunity because he was the 205 champion, unanimous, undisputed 205-pound champion of the world. So he has an opportunity to do it. Which one will do it first? Naoya Inoue has the opportunity to capture two belts versus Stephen Kubo Fulton on July 25th. Now he can capture two of the pieces, but now he's going to have to fight Tabales, right? In order to unify all four belts, which means Terrence Crawford on July 29th, just 4 days later, has the opportunity to rewrite history and be the first fighter to ever do as such. Two weight divisions, unified all four belts in two separate weight divisions. Now that is going to be a remarkable feat. There have been many great fighters in the history throughout the history of boxing, and I do believe there have been men that could have pulled this feat off had it not been for the politics involved in the sport of boxing. Mayweather could have accomplished such a feat, but Mayweather, for some reason back then, I didn't understand it. Why didn't he fight for the WBA? Why Mayweather never had the WBO? Why didn't he fight to unify all the belts? And it was because there was too many greedy hands in the pot in the sport of boxing. And every promoter didn't want to work with every network and every other promoter. Seeing that the UFC came in, the UFC helped boxing, okay? Because of the kind of pressure that the UFC, because boxing was standing on its own. They were like, there was no one to challenge us. Okay, we'll give you the fights when we want to. It was more or less that boxing was keeping us prisoner. Now things have changed. Now the fans are demanding these kind of fights. And we're like, if you don't give it this fight, we'll tune in somewhere else. You're not the only game in town. So now boxing said, we need to step it up. And this is what's going on. This kind of golden era of boxing right now is, we stand at a real unique time right now. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fighters right now. The best are fighting the best. There are talks right now with Deontay Wilder coming out of retirement, Joshua fighting. I told you that wasn't going to happen with Deontay Wilder, Joshua, Usyk, and there was just too many stars for that to be true. You know what I'm saying? But Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford did sign on the dotted line for July 29th. And that stands to be a great fight right there. I'm definitely tuning in for that fight. Yeah, like I said, he stands to be one of the first that can do it. Now, if Errol Spence Jr. is successful and he derails his plan, next man in line is Naoya Inoue. Listen, I have to be honest with you, and I'm going to report boxing, and I'm not being biased, but I'm going to be critical to some boxers right here, right now, okay? MJ and Tabales are not on the level of Stephen Kubo Fulton. That's number one, okay? I believe Stephen Kubo Fulton would beat either one of those men. You know what I'm saying? I think he has the skills, and I think he's faster, more athletic, and he has a great ring IQ. So that being said, in close, off the back foot, mid-range, outrange, Stephen Kubo Fulton will box and dance circles around MJ and Tabales. Both of them, okay? Now, I don't think Stephen Kubo Fulton is going to beat Naoya Inoue. And with that being said, Naoya Inoue stands to beat and wipe down this division. There's just one small problem. Actually, it's a big problem. Is it me or Tabales and MJ? They look big. They look big. Okay? They look big, man. And Naoya Inoue doesn't look that big. And at a certain point, being a fighter, you ever hear people say in the streets, right? Oh, size don't matter. Size don't matter. And the reason why that stands to be true in the streets is because, first of all, neither of you are training, right? And although you might think you're tough, right? None of you are getting punched in the face. Your heart and your mind might tell you, I'm a warrior. I'm ready to fuck some shit up, right? But as soon as you get punched in your face, your body is naturally going to go into a kind of shock First of all, it's going to register that punch. You ain't been punching the face in a while. And then your technique, it doesn't come out, translate the way you think. Inside your head, you must be a ninja. But when it's time to perform, it doesn't match up. What you're thinking and what your body's doing is not doing the same, right? Okay. So that's when size doesn't matter so much. You've seen a smaller guy beat a bigger guy, you know what I'm saying? And he was able to hit him or catch him with that one shot, or the big guy just folded or ran out of gas, right? But when you're at this level, 2 or 3 pounds matters. Size does matter. 4 pounds, that's why they have weight divisions. 4 or 5 pounds can alter a fight. Why do you think they fine fighters for not making weight? Because making weight is very crucial and important to the fight and the fight odds and the bookies and everywhere else. That's why they even have in some types of fight a rehydration clause. Because a few pounds can weigh the favor into the other guy. Meaning the other guy's that much bigger than your guy that he's able to take the guy's punch, walk through his punches, and deliver bigger and heavier punches on the much smaller guy. You see? And that's where things can play, size can play a factor. Can Naoya Inoue's power translate to 122 pounds? And I need not to remind you, yes, they're fighting, the weight division is called 122 pounds. The night on weigh-in, they weigh in the fight at 122. The night of the fight, they do not fight at 122. They do not. Those fighters come in anywhere near 135 pounds to 138. They can weigh, yeah, you can stand to gain 16, 20 pounds the night after. I've seen guys pack on like an alarming amount of weight. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't want to pack up too much pounds because you'll be a lot of water and stuff like that, and that might affect you. But these nutritionists and these guys, they know what they're doing. And they know how to rehydrate their fighter just right with the right supplements, right? And they don't fight at 122. And that's what I kind of like keep going over in my videos to try to let the fight fans know that, you know, in your mind, you're saying to yourself, man, it's only 122 pounds, 4 pounds here, north the equator, south the equator. It really doesn't make a difference. He should translate his power, no problem. No, that's not the case. Naoya Inoue's power would have to translate over from 118 pounds, right, to 138. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would have to, he came from knocking guys out from about 120 pounds, 122 pounds, actually. That's what the 118 guys were getting in the ring at. So he was basically knocking guys out that size. That's what he was knocking out. At this size, at 122, he's going to have to knock out guys 130, 140, 138, 136, 135. That's what they're going to put on. It's only 8 pounds to turn that number from 122 to 130. 8 pounds. Now, that's a minimum of what average fighters gain overnight. 8 pounds. So we got him clocked at 130. If he gains anywhere between 8 pounds and 16 pounds, what is he weighing in at now? Do the math. That's why these guys are saying, you know, could Naoya Inoue, because the real box fans, real like hardcore box fans, they know that the fighters never weigh in, go in the ring at the weight that they weigh in. That's why we cut weight. You know what I'm saying? And but I don't think skill for skill, none of these fighters could match Naoya Inoue's skill. Although, you know, could they walk through his power and be able to stand in the pocket and hit Naoya with overhand rights or overhand lefts and hit him with some punches that would stun him? Will his little frame be able to transition over well? I've never seen him that heavy. Can he get that heavy? Manny Pacquiao, when he was moving up in the divisions and he was conquering each division as he was moving up in weight, you can see and you can look back at Manny Pacquiao's career and how hard it was. Manny Pacquiao took 2 losses in the lower divisions and he moved up to other divisions. When he started getting up to like 154, 147, he was fighting some really big guys, and Manny Pacquiao was a broad shoulder kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? It looked like his frame could carry weight, so he was able, and he had really big calves, which Naoya Inoue does too as well. Naoya Inoue's calves, you ever see him? They're like really big. So I would like to see him. That's why I really would like to see him right now. I just want to see him training. I want to see his body. I want to see how he's packing on the weight. There have been many fighters that have transitioned and moved up in weight to fight other fighters, such as John Jones in the UFC. When he thought have you ever heard him spoke about his training and how he was going to move up to heavyweight? He thought from 205 he was going to eat a couple of meals, get up to heavyweight, and just challenge. He soon found out that you had to put that on gradually, and you had to train your body to adapt to that kind of weight and be able to perform the way you performed at a lower weight division. Usyk was a type of man that did exactly that. And did you see how he became heavyweight champion? Usyk just didn't jump from 205 right into the heavyweight and quickly challenged for a belt. No, he fought a couple heavyweight fights first. And he didn't look that good in those heavyweight fights in the beginning because it took him some time to acclimate to the division. So it's not as easy as it sounds, moving up a couple pounds. I know to the untrained eye, you say 4 pounds. Oh, that's nothing. No, when you move up 4 pounds, you're deciding to move up 14 pounds. That's what you're saying. When you decide to move up just 4 pounds in the division, behind the scenes, the boxer knows that's about a 14-pound move. Each division you move. It might say 4 pounds on the chart, but that's not what we're fighting at on fight night, is it? So that's what you got to take into consideration. And that's what I'm just breaking down. Being that the fact that this man has moved up multiple divisions, that doesn't always mean that he's going to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao took his power with him throughout all the divisions. Controversy aside, whether, I know what you guys are thinking. I'm not going to bring that up because this is not about him. Okay? But he did it. Floyd Mayweather didn't necessarily bring his power with him at all, but he did bring his skill with him, didn't he? Okay? So, and Inoue has the ability to do exactly that. He may not bring his power with him, but I believe he will bring his skill with him. You know what I mean? And I don't think that Tapales, MJ, or Fulton really is going to stop this man. If he gets past Fulton, it's a wrap. The only person that can derail Naoya Inoue's plans is Fulton. That's it. That's what I'm saying. And I'm sticking by my word. I'll stand on my square. The only one of those 3 fighters that I mentioned that can stop him, that I truly believe that can stop him, unless he gets caught with a haymaker or some lucky punch, or he walks into a punch, I don't see these guys outskilling him or outpointing him. If you take it to the 12th round, Inoue is going to outpoint you. Let's keep in mind, how many rounds has he lost his entire professional career? 3 or 4, arguably. right? I made a video about this. I mean, technically he lost them, but by all three scorecards, he, he didn't. But what I'm saying is, I don't see these guys outpointing him. And if they can't outpoint him, can they get to him to be able to knock him out? I don't think you can trap him in a corner. I don't think you could cut the ring off. Either of these guys possess kind of footwork, besides Stephen Kubo Fulton, possess the kind of footwork that can trap him. Naoya Inoue has evading ability, and he has the ability to fight off the back foot. Now that he has been criticized for not being able to fight going backwards. But that's not true, because I haven't seen a lot of people pushing him backwards. And the moments that he went backwards, he just went backwards. He didn't really show that he could fight, but he did. He didn't show that he could fight off the back foot, but he didn't show that he couldn't. The guy didn't keep the amount of pressure for that to be exposed. You know what I'm saying? So, I hardly doubt that a highly skilled fighter like Inoue can't fight off the back foot. That would be like such a flaw, right? In a man so skilled. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure he can. You know what I'm saying? So, no, nah. Unless Terrence Crawford, the only way Inoue can get there first, if Errol Spence Jr. beats Terrence Crawford. So the only way Inoue can get there first is that he has to beat Crawford. But if Crawford wins, Crawford gets there first. And then I think Inoue can be the second, depending on how the heavyweight landscape falls, and if Tyson Fury stops messing around and these guys stop messing around and they actually get in the ring and fight. With Tyson Fury, it's always something with that guy. You know what I'm saying? He is a great boxer. He's a good champion. He's an undefeated champion. I think he's one of the best heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? He's an awfully big man. But there's a lot of antics that go behind him. So everything I hear, I'm not always wanting to report, because it was like kind of Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford drama with that guy. You know what I'm saying? Now that they cleared up their business, I am a prisoner in the moment right now with this Naoya Inoue, Stephen Kubo Fulton. I got to admit, I am a prisoner in the moment, because, this is why I watch boxing. This is why I watch boxing, to see fighters like this fight. You know what I'm saying? And I can't wait for this fight. So that's all I have for you today. Please like, subscribe, click the bell icon, and let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Do you really think if Naoya Inoue wins against Stephen Kubo Fulton, anybody can stop him? Do you really think that Tapales, with that slow-ass footwork and that little overhand right, that weak, slow-ass jab that he was hitting MJ with, he has great timing. And that timing is not going to come into a factor with a man with Inoue that's tagging you from the outside. He's not going to come in close like MJ did. And MJ, was it me, or did he look slow for the first 7 rounds? You can't fight Naoya Inoue like this. You just can't. And look, you can have your beliefs. You can say whatever you want. You could, whatever. When they get in that ring and fight this monster, you'll see. You'll see. You will all see. And everyone that already knew it, that knows this, I'm saying, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. As soon as he rocks him, on that moment, we all getting on, baby. We're going to have a party. I'm trying to tell you. All right? So listen, fight fans, love you guys. On to the next one. Peace.